Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to build a practical toolkit designed to take your writing from pretty good to, really great. By the end of this, you'll have some solid strategies to communicate any idea you have with a ton more clarity and confidence.
We've all been there, right? You write something, you read it back, and you just get this feeling, this could be better. Well, the good news is that just learning how to spot the common mistakes, that's the huge first step to writing with real confidence.
So where do we even begin? Well, before we can build any better habits, we first have to understand the common pitfalls. Let's get a look at the types of errors that can trip up even the most experienced writers among us.
According to writing experts, pretty much every mistake falls into one of these 5 buckets. It could be a simple typo or a whole confusing paragraph. Either way, they all get in the way of clear communication. For our purposes today, we're really going to zero in on fixing some of the most impactful ones in grammar, structure, and style.
Okay, let's start with some quick wins right at the sentence level. If we can tackle just a few of these common errors, we can make our writing sharper almost immediately. And we'll use some really clear before and after examples so you can see exactly how to polish up your own work.
First up is the classic run-on sentence. See, in that before example, you have 2 complete thoughts that are just smashed together with a single comma. That's a comma splice, and honestly, it just makes things confusing. The fix is so simple. Just add a connecting word, like and it properly links the 2 ideas. The whole sentence just flows so much better.
Oh, this one is a total game changer. The passive voice, the decision was made. It's just a little wordy, a bit indirect. But now, look at the active version. The jury made the decision. Boom! Switching to the active voice puts your subject, the jury, right up front, and it makes your sentences more direct, more energetic, and way easier to understand.
Here's a classic grammar rule that's so easy to forget. Subject-verb agreement. A singular subject, like Nancy, needs a singular verb. And in the present tense, that usually just means adding an S. So Nancy eat becomes Nancy eats. It might seem like a small detail, but getting this right makes a huge difference in how professional you sound.
Okay, this one probably gave you a pretty funny mental picture. And that's the point. In that first sentence, the opening phrase, while standing in the freezing outdoors, seems to be describing the thoughts. So now you're picturing thoughts wearing a winter coat. That's a dangling modifier. The fix is just to put the real subject, Louise, right after that phrase. It's a simple reordering that makes everything instantly clear.
The age-old battle of its versus its. This one trips up so many people. Just remember this one thing. It's with an apostrophe is always short for it is or it has. The other one, it's with no apostrophe, shows ownership, like in the dog wagged its tail. Here's a quick check. If you can replace the word with it is, you absolutely need that apostrophe.
All right, so our sentences are sharp, they're active, and they're grammatically correct. Awesome. Now let's zoom out a little. How do we take those great sentences and combine them into perfectly structured paragraphs that build a really powerful argument? You know, building a strong paragraph from scratch can feel kind of intimidating, but what if you had a clear blueprint to follow every single time? We're about to introduce a really simple memory aid that pretty much takes all the guesswork out of structuring your ideas. All you have to remember is T-E-E-L. T, start with a topic sentence that states your main point. E, explain what you mean in a little more detail. E, provide some kind of evidence, like a quote or a fact to prove your point. And finally, L, link it all back to your main argument. Let's see how it works. To see how this brilliant framework actually works in practice, we're going to deconstruct a paragraph that analyzes the character of Charlotte from the super popular novel Wonder.
So here's our example paragraph in full. Now, on the surface, it just reads like a good, well-reasoned analysis. But underneath all that, there's a really powerful structure at work. This is the Teal method in action, and we're about to break down exactly how each piece helps build this compelling argument.
It all kicks off with this strong topic sentence. That's our T. And notice, it's not just stating a fact. It's making an arguable claim about the character. It tells the reader exactly what this paragraph is setting out to prove, that Charlotte's neutrality is actually a failure of her character.
Next up, the writer doesn't just move on. They explain what they mean by politely neutral. That's the first E. They expand on the idea by giving specific examples of her behavior, like not shaking Augie's hand. This adds some really crucial depth and clarity to that initial claim.
And here it is, maybe the most crucial part, the evidence. This is the second E. The writer backs up their claim with direct quotes from the book.
This is what transforms the paragraph from just an opinion into an argument that's actually supported by proof from the text. This is what makes writing truly convincing.
And finally, the link sentence, or L, wraps everything up so neatly. It summarizes the point that was just made in the paragraph and connects it right back to the main argument from the topic sentence. This whole idea of a failure in courage and kindness. See? Each part has a specific job, and together they create a powerful, persuasive paragraph.
Okay, so you have strong sentences, and you're building these perfectly structured TEL paragraphs. That's fantastic. But how do you connect them so your entire piece of writing flows smoothly from one idea right into the next?
The key is this simple but incredibly powerful technique called the known-new formula. The whole idea is to create a little bridge between your sentences. You start a new sentence by referencing the known information from the end of the previous one, and then you add your new idea. Let me show you what that looks like.
Check out this example. The first sentence ends with a new idea of what interests us. The very next sentence picks up that now known idea, starting with this interest, and then it introduces the next new thought. It creates this seamless, logical chain that just pulls the reader right along with you. It's so smooth. Wow, we have covered a lot of ground, from the tiniest punctuation mark all the way up to the flow of your entire argument. So let's just quickly recap the powerful tools we've just added to your writing toolkit. You now have this fantastic three-part toolkit. First, you've got the precision to spot and fix those common errors at the sentence level. Second, you have a blueprint to build clear, convincing arguments using that TEAL method. And third, you've got the technique to create a beautiful, logical flow with the known new formula. With these tools, you're not just writing anymore. You are engineering clear communication. You are totally ready to make every single word count. So the only question left is, what idea are you going to communicate more clearly today?